Hey, story fans, welcome back to the Writing Ref. I don't hate, I just officiate your favorite TV shows. I have a lot of thoughts on Andor, and there's a lot as writers we can learn from it. I'm a writer with over 20 years of experience with several works on submission to traditional publishing, so if you like this video and want to learn more about writing and authorship and the publishing world, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I'm happy to say I don't have to sing Andor's praises to try to get it more attention, because I agree with a lot of the headlines that it's some of the best Star Wars we've had in a long time. But why is that? There are many reasons we can point to, but one of the main pathways to success that writers Tony and Dan Gilroy, Bo Willman, and Stephen Schiff used was to implicitly trust the intelligence of their audience. They don't tell too much, and they don't browbeat you over the head with a theme or point they're trying to make. This can be very important to engaging your reader or getting your audience to lean forward as they watch. We'll go through a few examples of what I mean by this right now.
Attack me with all your strength.
I mean, the best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil.
All we need to win are the fellas in this room right now.
Trust your audience. This concept is somewhat related to the golden rule of writing, show, don't tell, in that if we don't trust our audience to absorb a concept or are worried that they'll be confused, writers often are tempted to tell too much. In the very first episode of Andor, Cassian kills two corporate sector police officers who are harassing him. When he gets home to Ferrix, he needs a cover story. Rather than having a typical conversation that we might expect with someone where he says, "Hey, I accidentally killed two cops. I need a cover story. Can you help me?" Instead, Andor finds his friend, Brazo, and immediately begins relaying the cover story. Brazo catches on and then adds to the story.
I'm cleaned up a bit and then I fell asleep.
No. You can buy for me, but I wasn't there. So then you started home and you saw me at the hotel bridge. We decided we were thirsty and you wanted to go to Cabos, but I said that was no good because there's too many people there I owe money.
If you're an audience member, you have to be leaning forward, paying attention to understand the context of the situation. You can't just have Andor on in the background somewhere for some dumb, mindless action, even if it's an entertaining action, or you miss the nuance. A lot of writers are afraid to confuse the audience in situations like this, but by trusting the reader or your audience to pay attention and understand, you tell a more compelling story, especially at the beginning when you really need to hook them. Compare this to our favorite Star Wars punching bag, The Acolyte, where instead of a big mystery about which twin was the one on the vengeance quest and which one is working as a mechanic, the show essentially tells us this information. Any intrigue about a potential mystery involving the identity of the two twins is immediately erased. The audience can sit back and just enjoy the flashy action, but they don't really need to be that engaged. Now, it's easy for me to sit here and say trust your audience, when sometimes the reader or viewer might indeed miss our subtle cues. For example, in Andor Season 2, Episode 3, a lot of people miss this subtle situation. On the surface, it can look like this farm boss betrayed his illegal immigrant workers to the Empire. However, more astute viewers understood that Brazo is pretending to be angry to help absolve the landowner of any wrongdoing.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't tell him. I'm gonna kill you.
On him! Hold him! You're betraying bastard! Don't move!
Another example where many people misjudge the situation happens later in Season 2, when a lot of people missed the fact that Dedra was trying to lie her way out of the interrogation with Krennic. There were a lot of memes, like this one going around, which assumed Dedra basically didn't report the emails correctly, and then some reply-alls to the email caused the downfall of the Empire, which is kind of funny. But the real point of this conversation is she deliberately went out and got all these files she wasn't supposed to be working on.
Several intel bundles were forwarded to my office by mistake. I should have reported it.
Gorman mining schedules.
I have clearance for Gorman.
What about orbital progress assessments? Edu research journals. We found 2 years of Jeddah Working Group printouts in your files.
I should have reported
And I
it.
should have pegged you as a scavenger a long time ago.
I didn't read them all. Most of them I never opened.
But you read enough, didn't you? You and your fringy friend. Supervisor Jung spent 3 hours last night logged into your account.
The Empire was trying to keep all these different events and places related to the Death Star separate. Jeddah, Scarif, Gorman, Galen Urso, all of that stuff should have been in different files and different locations of the Empire. But because she gathered everything together in one place, admitting she was a scavenger, Lonnie Young was able to piece it all together. Now there are many, many more examples of such subtlety within Andor. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that trusting your audience doesn't mean you just trust them to come away with the right impression or what you were trying to get across in the scene, but it also means you can trust them to come away with the wrong impression. Because chances are, if you write an amazing story, if one member of your fan base misses the subtext of a scene, there will be enough fans around to fill them in on what they missed. So trust your audience, story fans, and go ahead and write with deeper meaning. Leave a comment in the comment section about a time you trusted your audience and it was difficult, or something you missed in Andor that had to be explained to you. Until next time, I'm the Writing Ref. That's been the call.